Hello and welcome to ESC Fan TV's Retrovision 1972. Can you believe that this is the last Retrovision of the year? I can, because Eurovision's starting, all the songs are going to get released and we're going to be on here every 5 minutes going on about it. Let's move on to the next six.
Okay.
Venham solo, vinhas, flores, marés, canções, todas as cores, guerras esquecidas por amor. Que venham todos de vontade, sem se lembrarem de saudade. Venham os novos e os velhos, mas que nenhum me dê
Des mots sauvages et tendres, c'est la chanson de mon amour. Dans le bleu d'un ciel bleu en plein midi, dans ma nuit qui s'ennuie si loin de lui. Da-di-da-da-dam, da-di-da-dam-dam. Mon cœur s'est laissé prendre à la chanson de mon amour. Mon amour.
فتش طريق بالراس فؤادي مش مستقصية اللي لو سقسيت شيني المحبة كبيرة تزازة دين توجيبة في قلبي حسيت المحبي بعد شربت صار كسر حاجة للقلب كس ولي سيقول لك كس المحبي بوسع هوا تسكر لي يمرتها شبين وقت لي ينالوا العينين كم إيطالياني وكم الإسبانيولي الجرمانيزي إنجليزي ومالدين صحصيتهم كل الشيف مبل محبة هو توجيبة نحوني دين المحبي باشو بوسع
Sinne keskellä misten sattumako ei mä tiedä sen.
On onnea surukin osaltaan, se vain elämänä täytyy oivaltaa.
Flieg dich nicht weiter. Falsch ist der Mond sein Schattenspiel, in der Dämmerung ist kein Haar. Bei dem Wind wie Zeit, die verrinnt wie Sand in der Hand verweht verwandt. Es ist nicht ein Flügel zum Richter Küsten, zu schlicht nicht. Weil nicht in die Sonne. Zeit, die verrinnt wie Sand in der Hand verweht.
Erano i giorni dell'arcobaleno, finito l'inverno, tornava il sereno. Vivi la vita di donna importante, perché a 16 anni ti senti già grande. Ma un giorno vedrai che ogni donna è matura all'epoca giusta e con giusta misura, e in questa tua corsa incontro all'amore ti lascia alle spalle il tempo migliore.
So that's Portugal, Carlos Mendes, A Festa da Vida, The Party of Life. Switzerland, Veronique Muller, C'est la chanson de mon amour, It's the song of my love. Malta, Helen and Joseph, Limhaber, yeah, love, if anyone speaks Maltese. And Finland, Päivi Purni and Kim Floor, Mustatan, Do You Remember? Austria, The Milestones, Falter in Wind, Butterfly in the Wind, and Italy, Nicola de Bari, Gioni dell'Arco Baleno, The Days of the Rainbow. Terry, what do you think of these 6?
Oh,
That's all right. We'll go to Andrew and Paul. Andrew and Paul, what do you think of these 6?
Right. Again, I think they were all actually beautiful songs. I think they float along, and it's like you're being washed over by warm water or something. It just seems so beautiful. I would like to say I loved Malta. It sounds like the incidental music from a lot of sort of like 70s films, like the Carry On films and Up the Buses. And I loved the brass and the trumpets. I thought that was brilliant. I also loved Austria, and it was nice to see that. And this is one for the kids, Phil. David Hamilton was in the backing group, so I thought that was quite good to see. And I just thought Portugal, it bounced along. It was just energetic. Loved it.
Yeah, I loved them as well, most of them. Malta. Yeah, I'd live for that song. It's amazing. If that was their first entry, as somebody said in the chat, that was a stunning first entry. Switzerland, obviously, I quite like that because that's who I've come as. Veronique. Finland, sort of weird, sort of Schlager song, Finnish Schlager, and then it turns into sort of something you'd hear in a Greek taverna when they're smashing plates. So yeah, that was a bit weird. Austria,
beautiful though.
Very good though. Yeah, Austria, the Milestones. Yeah, I think if the New Seekers put an album out, the first track would be the biggest seller, and obviously that would be their Beg, Steal or Borrow, and the Austria track was very, very similar. It would be the very last track on side 2. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Terry, let's go back to Terry. Terry, can you hear us?
I can. Sorry, I didn't hear my name being called out before. So yeah, I'm on. Hello. So music is such an individual thing, and we all have different tastes. And out of all the thousands of songs from Eurovision, it's obviously very hard to pick a top 10 of all time, but Portugal 1972 is in my top 10 of all time. So of course it gets my 12 points from this particular year. I'd like £1 for every time I've heard this song in my life. It's actually before my time, but I've heard it throughout many decades now. It's just fantastic. I don't know what it is about the song or about the singer, but it just gets me every single time. I love a mid-tempo beat. I love the fact that the backing singers all crowd round one mic, and especially the lady, as we're watching the screen, the lady on the right, she can't wait to get in with her R's. and she plunges herself in, and all the others are trying to get there. And it's just such a wonderful, wonderful sound. It's an amazing tune. And again, big it up for that percussion section. That drummer deserves a medal throughout the night. He's really going for it, and it really blends. It's not overpowering. Switzerland, I'm not keen on this. I don't really like an acoustic guitar, but I have to give her congratulations for getting on that stall in time, because she bombs on, and then the orchestra starts playing, and she's still walking towards the stall. She then has to navigate the stall, get on it, and then start plunking away. So good on her. Malta, very pleasant. Nice to hear the Maltese language and the couple in their pinks swaying away. It's very nice. Finland, it's a nice, bright, marching rhythm. It makes you want to get up and have a good old march around the room. Nice harmonies in thirds. And I say that because later on we hear some very intricate harmony coming from Sweden, but that'll come a bit later on. The man, he looks very much like a Viking. I mean, he could be on a Viking ship tomorrow. It's a bit like a Fiddler on the Roof sound. You know that song, To Life, L'Chaim, in Fiddler on the Roof? It's got that same feel to it. Austria, I think Austria actually is probably the most current of 1972 of all the songs in this year. I think if you go back to that era, this would be such a current song, because it's got a very similar feel to the Mamas and the Papas, you know, California Dreaming, that kind of sound. Very hippies, 70 vibe, that kind of flute in the background, which is very, it's very much a 70s thing. If you think of This Is the Dawn of the Aging of Aquarius, that kind of song, with sort of power and love and all that business. Love Man, hey. I love the man in their corduroy jeans with the flares at the bottom. Very flashy, very, very nice. We didn't get on to Italy, did we, Michelle? Is that coming up?
No, it was there, Terry. I think you just glitched out. It was the bloke who looked like Sid Little.
I know, I'm not having a very good night with my computer, but as long as you can hear me, that's a good thing. So this man was extremely popular in the hall. He had a lot of fans. They were cheering and shouting before he even came on. He's obviously very, very famous. Don't know who he is, but gorgeous, rich baritone sound, lovely resonant chest vocals, and a really great build. And it's lovely to hear that Italian language coming across. I really liked this song. But Portugal is the one for me. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thanks, Terry. Brendan, did you like any of these six?
They were all good. It was a great tempo throughout. I think they are doing it well. Then the positioning of each song worked very well to compensate each other. I think Malta. All I'm drawn to is he looks like Harold Steptoe from Steptoe and Son, and I was fixated on that. So I don't actually like the song, but I'm drawn to it because I think it's him, which is absolutely brilliant. Portugal, yeah, he just belted out. It's absolutely brilliant. And then Italy, I think it's just such a great voice. I think it's a bit too slow for me, but Italian's fantastic language, and just being able to listen to anyone with a great ballad is always good for me.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Brendan. Bill, did you like any of those?
Yeah, I really like Portugal. I thought that was great. And Malta, I thought Malta was good. It was a bit sort of folky. And also, I like how they seem to have matching outfits that probably were made from a tablecloth or something. I don't know. And I thought Finland was okay, but there's a bit of la 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 la. But yeah, they were my favourites, I think, Portugal and Malta.
Brilliant. Thanks, Phil. Donna, what did you think?
Oh, this is a great section, actually. This to me sounded some of the most 70s out of the whole section. And I was only late 70s when I was born, so I can't really say for sure. But to me, in my mind, that it's great examples of 70s. But I like them all, quite honestly. The Italian chappie, he's quite well known in Italy, and he's considered one of the sort of sacred sounds in their back catalogue. He's one of these people that would be celebrated in Italy, so it's quite a big thing to have him in Eurovision as well, considering they didn't necessarily really watch too much of it. The 70s was certainly better than it was in the 90s, but yeah, it only came second, I think, at San Remo that year as well. So interesting. Austria, I really like. And I think it is because those 70s sounds come back round again and again and again. Same as the fashions come back round again and again. It's one that sticks in my head, this particular one. I don't know if it's because of his voice, his look, or just a combination of the whole performance that they put on. But I do really like the Austrian one. It's a good song. Who else? But I think I have to actually go with Terry on this one. I love Portugal. This is one of my favourite songs that Portugal have ever done. He's got such a gorgeous voice, and the way he presents it. The backing singers are a little off-putting, and I think that camera angle as it sort of zooms up to them on their little pedestal, and it's almost like they're fighting to get the microphone at one point. But I just love that song, and it should have done better. I think it was someone in the comments, was it Matt, who'd said it should have done better, and I totally agree. Malta, I actually quite like the fact they sang in Maltese. We don't hear it enough at all. It's quite a varied language because it's influenced by so many different nations that have conquered them over the years, and there's a lot of Arabic and things in there. So it's nice to actually hear it in a song. I suppose that one, if I had to be cliche, sounds the most 70s to me, I think, in its orchestration. And I think it's probably a pair of curtains or somebody's hand-me-downs that they've just put a little bit of lace on and decided to reuse the fabric in a more convenient way, because make, do and mend was a very big thing at that point. Who else have we got here? Who have I not mentioned? Oh, Switzerland. How could I forget Switzerland? That's the most fantastic outfit, I think, of the whole evening, I think. And a good effort down there from my colleagues on the panel with the outfit there. Definitely one that I think they should bring back into fashion, but also with a good voice. So that's enough of me rambling.
Blimey,
I enjoyed
Donna.
this section.
Really? I couldn't tell. Are we still on air?
Oh, shush.
Oh, and finally, Mick, what do you think of this 6?
Oh, well, not only was it the strongest start, but I think it continued to be strong as well through this selection. And I think 1972, I mean, we're coming to the next lot, and by God, they get even better. It's a bit like a roller coaster, starts off good, the middle falls off, then we come good at the end. With this one, I think 1972, yeah, and again, now everybody's saying Portugal, belting that one out. Portugal and Finland, my two favorite Eurovision countries. And God bless Finland for saving, keeping the Eurovision la 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 la's going, not letting them die out. This is what we want. We don't want the Eurovision la 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 to die out. Somebody's got to keep going. But I think the one I've always had a soft spot for is Malta. And a bit like Ireland, I think Malta should send a song in Maltese again. They can't do any worse than they've been doing recently. But I think, the Maltese was lovely. And, I did grow up in the 70s, yes, I know it's hard to believe I am that old, but, where the 70s, where the men's hair was bigger than the women's and no pair of curtains was safe.
It definitely wasn't. And net curtains, any sort of curtains were not safe. Bye.